I've done a lot of things in my life. You can tell I'm old, I have gray hair. But I was, one of my favorite things was that I was a teacher. And following that, I was a member of the state legislature, both the House and the Senate. And my last role was one of state board of education. So I love getting into my classrooms, and just for the record, I brag about you guys to everybody I see. This is amazing. We're gonna make it straight back.
Good morning. I am Melissa Chandel. I am the principal right next door at Glenwood Middle School. Happy to be here.
I'm Terry Taylor. I'm a similar patrol here in Clark County. Who would like to start with the introductions?
My name is Angela, and my favorite historical event is Loving versus Virginia because it let my mom and dad get married.
Hello, my name is Bree Horsten, and my favorite historical event is the Reconstruction Amendments that brought the country together after the Civil War. Hello, my name is Brody Tong, and my favorite historical event is the American Revolution because it separated us from the British.
Hello, my name is Sabine Gustafson. My favorite historical event is the Civil War because when it ended, slavery also ended and the North and South reunited.
Hello, my name is Luca Jacobo. My favorite historical event is the Boston Tea Party because it led to the Parliament to pass rules like closing Boston's harbor until there was resolution on the taxes. This became the justification for the First Continental Congress.
Congress has formed this Congressional Committee to examine the people's rights and responsibilities. You've been asked to testify before the committee on the question, how is government evolving to expand the meaning of we the people? Take a deep breath. Let it out. And whenever you're ready.
President John F. Kennedy once said, knowledge is power. He knew that staying informed was important for citizens. How can people stay informed is one of the many questions citizens ask. How has the interpretation of the president changed? What are more important, individual rights or common good? How can we help those still fighting for civil rights? These are all questions citizens ask. The following is what we have learned as students.
How can people stay informed?
Staying informed is important because being informed about issues in your community can help solve them. So, how can people stay informed? One way is for citizens to attend town hall meetings. Town hall meetings are a good place to learn about issues in your communities and ask official representatives about them. People can join virtually and in person.
People can learn about what candidates think about problems, as well as laws they can vote on. Finally, citizens should watch, listen, and read the daily news to learn about current events and issues. Some local news channels are WJZ and WBL. There are also national news channels such as CNN and Fox News.
How has the interpretation of the First Amendment changed over time?
The interpretation of the First Amendment has changed over time as other rights have conflicted with it. For example, the private craft supply company Hobby Lobby had an issue with freedom of religion and Obamacare, which is a federal statute about health insurance for all Americans. Lawmakers re-examined the First Amendment because Hobby Lobby refused to give a certain medication to its employees, which is a requirement of Obamacare. Because of religious beliefs, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of Hobby Lobby and decided their freedom of religion overpowered Obamacare rules about employers giving medication to their employees.
Lastly, a high schooler was upset because she could not make the varsity cheer team, was instead put on the JV team. She posted a strong feeling about it on social media, so she got kicked off the cheer team. She felt this was a violation of her right to free speech, so she took the issue to the courts. The Supreme Court ruled that it was wrong for the school to kick her off the team for expressing her ideas and opinions.
What are more important, individual rights or the common good? Why?
For both individual rights or the common good, it depends on the situation. Both are equally important. For example, it's your individual right to believe what you want, even if others think it should be banned. On the other hand, common good is important for school uniform requirements. Everyone wouldn't have to worry about being bullied, having less money, or deciding what to wear to school. Another example is gun ownership. The Second Amendment allows citizens to own guns for defense. That's our individual right. On the other hand, it would be for the common good to have more rules around gun ownership. The citizens have the right to live without fear of violence from guns. Although citizens have rights, common good is also very important. Both are equally important in different situations.
How can we help those still fighting for their civil rights?
We can help the group still fighting for their civil rights in many ways. Raising awareness is a good way. People have created Pride Month, Black History Month, Women's History Month, Hispanic History Month, and Asian/Pacific Islander History Month. These are all months to spread awareness about these minorities. Another way is protesting. For example, the Black Lives Matter movement stopped violence towards African Americans. Finally, people can create groups and campaigns to help people get civil rights. For example, the campaign Legal Center was founded for Native Americans' voting rights.
Over time, the ideas discussed were led for government to realign the meaning of we the people. We the people used to only include rich white men with power. Due to amendments being made, we the people today include almost everyone. Our work is to continually pass bills and amendments to live up to our founding fathers' ideals stated in the Declaration of Independence, that every citizen deserves life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
I'm going to ask some questions. Ready? Okay. Do you think every citizen should be required to participate in his or her government?
I
Why
think
or why
every
not?
citizen should not be required to participate in his or her government. Some citizens already can't vote because of their age requirement.
I agree with Luca. I feel like every citizen should be required to participate in government because they may not know about the candidates and just pick random.
I agree with Bree because some citizens, they might have emergencies on the day of like the vote, so they might not be able to attend.
I agree with Freddie, but people could also might not like the candidates, or they might not have the time of day to go and vote for one.
Okay, thank you. If you could create a new amendment to protect the rights of people, what would it be and why?
One amendment I would make is about voting. I would lower the age to 16 instead of 18. That's when people can get a job. I would also make it for felons that 20 years after they became a felon that they
Although that sounds like a good amendment idea, I feel like equal rights should be an amendment because it would include all genders, LGBTQIA+, and people who identify as the gender they're born as.
I think a new amendment should be AI regulations, so AI shouldn't listen to what you say and give you some privacy.
I agree with Luca. AI can become too powerful, and if it gets in the wrong hands, someone can use it to manipulate people and create false, harmful information.
Okay, thank you.
Are there times when freedom of expression should be limited? Why or why not? And give examples, please.
Yes, I think there are times where freedom of expression should be limited. In times like sending death threats to another person. That is when it should be limited to the person sending the threats to another person.
I think there are times when freedom of expression should be limited when somebody's inciting potential danger. Like you can't yell, there's a bomb on here.
I agree with Luca. I think that it should be limited because I think that social media companies should be allowed to censor its users depending on the content of their posts.
I think freedom of expression should be limited. When somebody slanders or libels, they could hurt someone else's reputation.
How can people participate in government?
One way people can participate is voting. Voting can help you as a whole pick your representatives for your country.
Another way is that they can go to town hall meetings to discuss things with their government representatives.
Citizens can also run for office, so if they want to change the law, they can get the job to make it.
To participate in government, you have to stay informed about the government.
and then you can try to solve the problem.
Okay, thank you. Are there times, sorry, do you think Washington DC or Puerto Rico should be granted statehood? Why or why not?
I think Puerto Rico shouldn't be granted statehood because they voted 3 times on they didn't want to be a state and be a Commonwealth place, and I would force a place to become a state if they don't want to.
I think DC shouldn't become a country because they are supposed to be a neutral federal district.
Although Puerto Rico did not want to become a state, they still are drafted like any other American citizen. Also, DC citizens voted that they wanted to become a state.
I agree with Sylvia. Additionally, Puerto Ricans, they already have the same responsibilities as U.S. citizens, so it would make more sense for them to be a state.
Why is freedom of the press important?
I think freedom of the press is important because it gives young journalists the right to speak their minds.
I think it's important because you stay informed about issues around you, like what's going on, any new elections, or any issues that you can help fix.
I think those are really good points, but I also think freedom of the press is really important in a democracy. There's other countries where journalists are killed or jailed for what they write.
Okay, what can citizens do to change the law they think is unfair?
One thing they can do is run for office. They can create new laws or fix the ones that they break.
Another thing they can do is protest to have that law changed by the government.
Adding on to Sabine, the March on Washington changed segregation laws and made new laws to protect rights for black people.
Alright, I actually have one more quick question. Would you all like feedback, or do you want us to just leave?
We'll take the feedback.
Good choice. Good choice. I can read my mind down.
I really appreciated the fact that you had such a variety of current examples and other examples to respond to the questions. It's one thing to just say, I have this opinion, but it's another one to say, like you did, with, say DC and Puerto Rico statehood, why that was good, or not. I really appreciated the fact that you could see both sides of the different issues and then land on the one that you felt was most important. It's very, very important. You talked about AI, I think that was you, Luca. Talked about AI, potential danger to it, or whatever, or maybe that wasn't you. Both of you both dealt with AI. You're gonna have to, I'm gonna have to hire a couple of you to teach me how that's supposed to work, because I'm, in the old school. I love the answer about if you want to change, run for office. That was a really good answer. I think that was down the other end. You had, it's encouraging to me to sit through, which is our fourth one, and hear different responses to the questions. It shows me you're really doing your own thinking, and you can be great citizens.
I want to reiterate what she just said. I think that you did a great job as a team. You were collaborative. I could tell when some of you had different areas of expertise, which is good in a team because in the end, you're one big group and it all comes together. Angelo, I loved your example about Loving versus Virginia. It really touched my heart when you said that it's what allowed your parents to get married. And I loved how you kind of helped the team stay organized in the opening by asking the questions. So great job. Bree, I loved some of your really relevant examples when you were talking about Hobby Lobby and gun ownership. Those are really real relevant examples in our society. So it's nice that you were able to tie together concepts from a long time ago to things that are happening today. You also mentioned social media, and I hope none of you are on social media yet, but soon you will be, and it will really be something that will be a major part of your lives, what you post what you should be able to post or not. And then I'm gonna touch on AI too, because this is one that I'm really passionate about as a principal and as a person. Recently, there was a principal in Baltimore County who almost lost his job because of things that hit the public that he said, except he didn't really say them, it was AI generated. And so it's happening right now. They just came out with this about a week or two ago. So it's very relevant, and I know that Luca and Ferdy, you talked about it, and Ferdy, you even went on to talk about slander with limiting speech, and that's really all connected. The social media piece, it's all connected. So great job. I'm really proud of you. Really, it was evident that you knew what you were talking about. So
And you got a bright crew coming to you next year.
right.
She's talking about a recruiting pitch.
What are you gonna do?
I think you did a fabulous job. I mean, what I got from it was you had a beautifully constructed response for your presentation. Sabine, you started off with the intro, and you started off by saying knowledge is power, and then you broke down your thesis of this is what we're gonna talk about. And again, Angela was kind of like the axle for that wheel, asked the question, and then everybody jumped in, giving great examples. Luca, you came in with not only local, but nationwide, from WJZ, TV, WDAL, and then you went nationwide. So just really giving like a large swath, and that kind of helps too with the current and the past events. And then Sabine, you came back and gave an awesome conclusion in the end, and wrapped that all up with the great. At the end, you talked about the Lake Liberty, you see the happiness too. So I think that just the beginning and the end, great answers in the middle too. Ferdy, I wrote down the whole. I do like the always my favorite question's always been the responses to common good and individual rights. But what I got from the group was a balance, all the way across. That whether it was Bree saying you have this individual right, but for everybody's safety, we need this, and live without fear. So yes, not taking anything away, but maybe controlling that. And I don't think that's most adults want to come down one way or the other on that issue. You all seem to be seeing both sides and coming somewhere in the middle, which makes me feel really good about getting older. Ferdy, you talked about school uniforms. That comes up occasionally, but I thought it was like really interesting you were in favor of that, as an equalizer too. I think it just makes not knowing what the heck to put on in the morning so much easier, I didn't have my crazy socks on today. Look at that, they have little lines in them. Isn't that cool? Just kidding. I got Rudolph socks. But, great answers, and Ferdy, I think the really thing that, talk about respect, your whole group had respect for each other, but in the end, with the follow-up question, what I got was, those are some really good answers, however, so if you're not looking